Hello everybody, it's Sylvie. Welcome back. I hope you're doing good. Today I'm going to be playing with my MJ Cullinane decks. So these are my three Hay House mass market published MJ Cullinane decks. I've got Grimalkin's Curious Cats, I've got the Enchanted Phyrexia and the Guardian of the Night. Basically, I'm feeling a little bit soft and squishy and mentally it's been a tricky week. I had other videos planned, but they will involve a little bit more thought, a little bit more brain power, and I'm really not feeling up to it today. So I decided to play with my MJ decks because I've spoken a lot about these decks, specifically the Guardian of the Night. I talk about this all the time. It's a very cozy deck. It's the kind of, I thought it was going to be a bit fluffy and a bit like love and light, and I thought I wouldn't get on with it. It completely proved me wrong, and since then I've started collecting MJ Cullinane's decks. I have more than this. I'm just going with the Hay House ones for the purposes of today's video. I enjoy her decks. They just feel nice. They're not super confronting. They're not super like dark and scary. I can do all kinds of readings with them. I can do like deeper readings, shadowier stuff, but the cards themselves are never too aggressive with me. So what I'm going to do today, I have these all in order, and I'm going to Frankenstein together a deck out of my three decks here, which is why I chose the ones that are all Hay House, because the cardstock is going to be the same size. So I've got them all in order, and I'm just going to go through and pick out my favorite from each of the three decks, and then I'll have one like ultimate MJ Cullinane tarot deck. Okay, after much faffing with camera angles, we are here. I have put them in the order of when I got these decks, which I believe, is also publication date, because I got these two right after they came out, which, you know, is meaningless to anybody but me, but it feels correct to have them in chronological order. So this also serves as a comparison video of MJ Cullinane's Hay House mass market decks. So here are our fools. I think my favorite is the Grimalkins here, because I think we've got the crocodile here for the wrist. Is it a crocodile or an alligator? I truly don't know how to tell the difference. Like, we've got the risk and the water also, and the boat is like the cliff. We've got a little dog in the background. I like it more than the other two. So for our magician, I think that maybe the Phyrexia is my favorite here. Just the way it shows the power of the magician I really enjoy, although I also do like the Guardian of the Night with the little lightning strikes. That's also cool, but I think the Phyrexia for the magician. The High Priestess. Oh, I mean, this is a really beautiful High Priestess with the Grimalkins, and I really like the like lacy curtain for the veil. I think that's gorgeous. Like, I think maybe this is the best, but I simply have to go with the bat for personal reasons. All right, our Empress. Do you know what? I kind of keep forgetting that the High Priestess exists today, because every time I was putting these in order, I kept putting the Magician in front of the Empress, and then I'd come across the High Priestess like, oh shit, yeah, she exists. My favorite is the Guardian of the Night, hands down, because I love the protective element of the Empress here. I think that lends so much more to the card than just Empress equals pregnant woman. I just think there's more here. It's a powerful element of the Empress, which I think puts the card more on a level with the Emperor, rather than like woman only good for having babies, and then the Emperor is man in charge of literally everything else. All right, our Emperor. So the Phyrexia, this is the only card change, I think, except for the courts. This is the Council of Monarchs for the Emperor. And I don't love it, because for me personally, it throws off the elemental associations, because as you can see, this Emperor card, or Council of Monarchs, has all of the elements in. And I'm like, but no, the Emperor is Aries. So it's not going to be the Phyrexia. And I don't think it's a bad take on the card. It's just not my favorite, and that's the whole point of this exercise. And I think it's going to go to the Guardian of the Night again, because we've got our little ram here, and we've got our throne in the background, and I think that this looks a little bit more emperor-y than the Grimalkins. Also, we've got the mountains in the background. Like, I'm quite attached to a lot of the symbolism on the Emperor card for some reason. I was a little bit concerned that the Guardian of the Night would win out because I've spent the most time with that deck. And I have a lot of a connection with that deck, whereas these two less so. And like the Phyrexian, I've only had for a month and haven't really worked with it nearly as much. This reminds me of Ratatouille, and I don't truly get it as the Hierophant. I mean, like, we've got the key but still. And I think this one is going to go to the Grimalkins. Also because I don't super get what's going on here in the Phyrexian. So the Phyrexian has a bit more like Fey energy. It deviates a little bit more from the Rider-Waite-Smith than these two do, which are basically just animal Rider-Waite-Smith decks. But I don't truly get what's going on in the Hierophant and the Phyrexian, so I think by default, which is how everybody loves to win, this one is the Grimalkins. The Lovers. I don't love either of these, and I couldn't tell you why. So again, by default, it is the Phyrexian. This one also looks like it has a bit more of a Marseille bent to it, and I think you can also read it as slightly less romantic if you wanted to, even though it does look more like a Three of Cups than anything else. But like, we've still got the snake, and I think in the guidebook when I read the entry for this, there's like a jealousy element to it, there's a three's a crowd element to it, which I think is interesting. A Chariot. I think this one is hilarious. Not sure I fully get the animal symbolism in this one. And actually I do really love this one, so it's not even by default. I think this is the coolest. The lightning, the energy in this card, I think is fantastic. The way she's riding the raven, like, it's so cool. Strength cards can be a bit hit or miss for me. Like, I often don't love the depiction. Honestly, I think the Rider-Waite-Smith strength is like a little bit boring, and a lot of decks don't tend to deviate from it. None of these really have. Phyrexian, because I like the balancing of elements. It's got a little bit of like a Temperance vibe to it almost, because we have this like mermaidy figure and the fiery dragon and that like subduing balancing. I like that. Okay, the Hermit. These are all absolutely beautiful, and I really don't want to pick. I think it's this one for the symbolism. I think the Phyrexian feels the richest. The Grimalkins is arguably the prettiest one. I love these pink blossoms. It's gorgeous, and this beautiful little cat. This one has more of an air of solitude about it, which cats are very solitary creatures. So I think almost it's difficult to depict a hermity cat, because cats do just chill on their own a lot. So yeah, I think this one's the Phyrexian. Okay, Wheel of Fortune, one of my least favourite cards visually. This is boring and uninspired, sorry. This makes not a ton of sense to me. This one has all the seasons, which is nice. So we're going with the Phyrexian again. Justice. I simply must give it to the bat. Okay, the Hanged Man. It's interesting seeing how like some of these have a very similar colour palette, whereas like just now with the Justice, they all looked very different. It's a lot of black and white with the pops of like the gold. That's really cool actually. And something I wouldn't have noticed if I wasn't doing this little exercise. It's going to be the Phyrexian for this one. I really like the imagery of her being like carried. I just think that fits the best for me. Death. It is a toss-up. I've never noticed this human figure in the Grimalkins death card before. Well, it wasn't going to be the Grimalkins for me anyway. It's my least favourite imagery out of the three, like visually to look at. And I think it's going to be the Guardian of the Night, although I do also really like the death card in the Phyrexian. I don't know, there's something about this one with the death of this little mouse or vole or whatever it is. The hiding under the thorns, hiding for safety, but hiding within thorns is not that safe, and death being inescapable, and it's only painful to try and avoid whatever the death card symbolizes. Like, it's painful to be hiding in the thorns. I like that a lot. Temperance card. The Grimalkins doesn't make a huge amount of sense to me. I think this is really cool, these two streams blending, but I just love the toad and like that amphibian, 1 foot in the water, 1 foot on the land. Like, I think that's a really cool association. So it's the Guardian of the Night again. The Devil. Don't love the imagery of the Grimalkins. Like, I get it, I just didn't love it. The Phyrexian is the prettiest for sure, and I believe I said this in my walkthrough of this deck, but it's giving me like an Ursula from the Little Mermaid vibe, like taking the wings of this fairy creature. Is it a jackalope? Is that what the antlered bunny thing is? I'm British. We don't have that over here. That's not like a myth that we've got. But I feel like it being something not of this world and something like, I don't know, I think that's cool for the devil. Honestly, I don't love the devil card. I mean, who loves the devil card? But like, I don't know, I think maybe I need to work with the devil card a bit more and like really get into it and figure out my own meaning for it. That maybe is why none of these are speaking to me. I think we're going with Pharaxa. The Tower. This is very cute. It is less meaningful though. I think this one is referencing Ragnarok in the Pharaxa. I'm in two minds about this soaring down of the tree as the tower. The tower being something that is catastrophic, but inevitable. And it depends how you read this. Like, I don't love the loss of habitat as an inevitable thing, but then you can read it from a slightly different angle and say like our current actions mean climate destruction, ecosystem destruction is inevitable as a result of our current actions. So like I do and I don't like this. I think it's the Pharaxa again. The star, these are also lovely. It simply has to be this cat though. That was purely based on vibes because like this one symbolically the Pharaxa is much closer to the star meaning. Okay, the moon. I think it's going to be the Pharaxa again because I love this like reflection of the death card and then the moon being about shadow and what's hidden. And if I remember correctly, the write-up for the moon from the Guardian of the Night refers to like foxes and other creatures having to venture into urban places for food and things. And like again, I kind of like I get it from a climate-y, ecological man versus nature kind of standpoint, but it doesn't make the most sense as the moon to me. This is really gorgeous. But yeah, it's the Pharaxa for sure. Okay, the sun. These are all so beautiful. I really want to pick the Grimalkins again just because it's gorgeous. Look at it. Look at this deck. This Grimalkins Curious Cats Tarot I got just because it's pretty. And I knew I liked MJ's decks, but still. Oh, but then I also really do love... I think it's really interesting also, this is a big cat, isn't it? The perspective is like almost different. This one is a lot more like powerful feeling. Just because of the position, like the composition of the card, it's over the sun. Whereas here it's like within the garden and it's like it's looking up at the sun. I think it's this one. I think it's the Grimalkins. Judgment. I really like this. The snake shedding its skin as judgment. I think that is a wonderful metaphor, symbol. That's 100% it. That's one of the cards that made me really love this deck, I think. Okay, and then the world, and then we're done with the mages. This, again, this beautiful, and the backs. So we've got the bees and the moon, and then this beautiful sparkly bee with the blossoms is one of the reasons I bought this deck, because I was flipping through it in the store. She had a display deck out. That's slightly beside the point. I really quite like this one with the like Chinese lanterns for you send off your hopes and dreams with the releasing of the lantern. And I like the symbolism of that and the kind of like renewal and the everything has its time and has to end and begin again. Like I like that, but it has very little symbolism in, let's be real. We've got the laurel wreath and that is it. Then I'm picking it. All right, so onto our wands suit. The Pharaxa is fire, water, etc. instead of like wands, cups, etc. So Ace of Wands. I think I really love... Oh, it's cool that... So the Grimalkins and the Pharaxa, we've both got this path showing up, but not over here. But I think it is going to be the Pharaxa because I really like that path opening up into the light up ahead. This feels very Fool energy to me, actually, the way that the step is like not quite taken. But yeah, Pharaxa for this one. All right, Two of Wands. Again, I really like this, but I think I would like this better as the Two of Air almost, this Pharaxa card, because it's like there's a choice there. But anyhow, I think it's going to be the Guardian of the Night for the Two of Wands. Yeah. All right, our Three of Wands. I really like the Guardian of the Night again because it's as though this bird is like building a nest with the wand. And I actually quite like the Grimalkins seeing the three birds as like the three ships and seeing like as though this tiny looking cat is plotting to catch 3 whole crows or ravens or whatever they are. None of these are my favourite, I'm gonna be honest. I think the 3 of Wands generally isn't one of my favourite cards. I have a bit of an issue with the 2 and the 3 of Wands. I just think they're a bit difficult to relate to / very colonial, and yeah, they're not my favourite cards in the tarot. I think this one though, I like the idea of it building its nest. Okay, 4 of Wands, it absolutely has to be the magpies card for sure. So that's the Guardian of the Night. I do also really like the Pharaxa, this like birthing, I think is cool instead of like a wedding, which is what we usually see in the 4 of Wands. But yeah, it's this one. Okay, 5 of Wands. This card is stunning. The colours, beautiful. But I think the beaver building its dam is maybe my favourite. Although the Grimalkins here, it shows that kind of slightly less serious side of the 5 of Wands quite well. But it's going to be the Guardian of the Night. Alright, 6 of Wands. Victory and celebration. I think it's the Grimalkins here because of the way these 2 cats below are looking up at this cat on top, and that kind of sense of like it's a very public celebration of victory is the 6 of Wands to me. So although there's like other figures, there's other little lemurs in this card, they're looking out. I don't know, that is what makes the difference for me. All right, 7 of Wands. There's a defensiveness. I think maybe the Guardian of the Night again. Not this cat being harassed by bees, just because I don't feel like it's really defending its position here. It's just kind of having a bad time. Although I do really like the Pharaxa. Again, it's gorgeous, it's beautiful, the colours, stunning. But I really like the way that she's like rooted. Yeah, it's gonna be the Pharaxa. Okay, 8 of Wands. Traditionally one of the most boring looking cards in the deck. I really like this hawk. I think it's the Guardian of the Night, yeah. Okay, 9 of Wands. That like last stand, I think has to be the Pharaxa, just because of the like attitude of the figure here, that like battered but not beaten. And then all these eyes in the woods behind I really like as well. Yeah. Okay, the 10 of Wands. I think it's got to be the salmon, that like literal uphill or upstream battle. I think it's a really good representation. Okay, to our courts. The Page of Wands. I think, and this is maybe an unfair advantage of the Pharaxa because it's got humanoid figures, but it's got to be the Pharaxa for this one. Okay, the Knight of Wands. I think actually the Grimalkins. There's just a lot of energy and I really like it. Or maybe I'm just biased and I want to see horses in my night cards. Okay, Queen of Wands. I love all of these. But I think, again, the Grimalkins, I think because it's... And again, this is maybe unfair because the Guardian of the Night, all the cards are nighttime scenes. But the Queen of Wands is so like vibrant and charismatic that it feels like this just makes sense, you know, with like the bright sunny day. And it doesn't have a black cat, but it's got a little black raven. The cat has a raven. Anyways, okay, and our King of Wands, or in the Pharaxa, they're elders instead of kings. I think maybe I go with the Guardian of the Night here, because I feel like this King of Wands is too active. Does that make sense? Possibly not. This King of Wands is too active, whereas this one is more ready to act if necessary, maybe. I don't know, I just like it. Okay, on to our Cups suit. For the ace, it's gotta be the Grimalkins because it's just so beautiful. I feel like the cup suit is especially gorgeous in the Grimalkins. I'm gonna have a hard time not choosing it for every card. 2 of Cups. I think it's this one with the elephants because it's just gorgeous. And I really like this like a mutual filling of the other's cup. Like I think that's a really nice image. 3 of Cups. I really love the raccoons here. I think they're just having a great time. But also I really like the Grimalkins because they're like, this is exactly how cats have a great time though. They knock everything over and make a mess and somebody else has to clean up. I mean, they're all pretty straightforward, but I think I'm going to give it to the Guardian of the Night because it feels more like a group celebration. Again, cats are very solitary creatures, and like these 3 look like they could just be having their own individual chaos. Okay, 4 of Cups. This despondent looking cat is possibly gonna take it just because I love his little face. But I think this is a much more powerful image. So I think it's actually gonna be the Pharaxa. The 5 of Cups. Do you know what? It's gonna be the Guardian of the Night, and it's purely because I just really love, I don't know, the way the cups are broken rather than just spilling their contents. I don't know, that really gives me a lot of the message of the card, the fact that they're broken. And I don't know exactly why, but I like it. All right, the 6 of Cups. This is very beautiful. They're all very beautiful, actually. I think it's going to be the Firaxa though, because I really like the idea that this could be an adult and a child, or an adult with their inner child, or the child version of themselves. I really like that. Okay, 7 of Cups. The Firaxa is out just because I want to see 7 different things in the card, and this is just 7 stars. I really like the idea that this is a play on the moon gazing hare. It might be, it might not, I don't know. I think, yeah, Guardian of the Night for that one, even though the Grimalkins is lovely. All right, the 8 of Cups. I notice none of these are actually walking away, but I think the Firaxa, because she looks the most ready to walk away. And I like the butterflies. Is that better? It was feeling a little bit messy and chaotic for my liking. All right, 9 of Cups. I don't love the Rider-Waite-Smith 9 of Cups card. I don't love the Guardian of the Night. And I think, yeah, it's going to be the Firaxa for this one again. And the 10 of Cups, which I think has to be the Guardian of the Night. There's just something so lovely about having all of the animals together. I really like that. Although, this is absolutely gorgeous. Did I even pick more than one Grimalkins? I know I was like, oh, it's going to be hard not to pick the Grimalkins for everything because it's so pretty. And then I literally only picked the ace. Okay, Page of Cups. I love the capybara, but I feel like he's a bit too laid back for a Page of Cups in my opinion. The Grimalkins is lovely. The Firaxa is also lovely. I like both of these, but I think maybe the Grimalkins because it's got the most like playfulness and curiosity to me. Okay, the Knight of Cups. So these have both got swans in. I think it's going to be the Guardian of the Night. Are swans one of the animals that are supposed to like mate for life? Is that why we've got swans coming up in the Knight of Cups? Maybe. Queen of Cups. I really like the Guardian of the Night because of the way it's submerged in the water. And yeah, I think that's my favourite. And the King of Cups, which I think maybe is going to be the Grimalkins again because, you know, conversely, I like how this one isn't in the water. Can reach out and touch it if need be, but isn't going to be submerged in it. All right, onto the sword suit. Who is my favorite ace? I'm actually struggling a little bit with this one. I like this in the Firaxa, but I feel like it's too, like the action is already underway, which isn't what the ace is about for me. I think the Guardian of the Night, just because I think it's the prettiest. All right, our 2 of Swords. I love how this cat is balancing. I think that's great. Yeah, I think it's like a Malkin's. All right, 3 of Swords. I think maybe the Firaxa. It's maybe a little bit more vicious than the 3 of Swords necessarily needs to be, but I like it. Okay, 4 of Swords. I love all of these. This kitten is adorable. This hedgehog is adorable. And I really like the snake skin, like the shed snake skin at the bottom of the card in the Firaxa Tarot, and the way that that rest is like rejuvenating, like literally. But I think it's got to be the kitten. Okay, 5 of Swords. This 5 of Swords is so funny to me because this is the exact kind of thing that my cat pulls. She'll sit on the dog's bed so that the dog can't, and he just kind of looks at me with concern in his little face because he's scared of the cat. Rightfully so, frankly. But I think this is a good 5 of Swords though, because like there is a victory in the 5 of Swords, and here I'm like, well, I suppose the victory is humans have cleared land for whatever it is that they needed to do, like they're getting their shit done. But obviously it ultimately, what is that victory costing is kind of what the 5 of Swords is about for me, and I like this one. All right, for the 6 of Swords, I really like the Firaxa. Like they're all going on that journey. We've got water in all the cards. I really like this one. So that's what we're doing. Okay, 7 of Swords. I think this is clever with the way it's depicted as like they're leaving feathers behind, but I think I like this one the most, the Guardian of the Night. Although I also do like this and the like hiding, but I think it's going to be the Guardian. All right, the 8 of Swords. Kind of don't love any of these. I think it might be the Firaxa as my fave, which I think is maybe a bit not controversial, but like a lot of people don't like this because of the spiders, which understandable. This one doesn't say enough for me, and this one I'm kind of just a bit unsure what we're really looking at. So Firaxa it is. All right, the 9 of Swords. This one makes me sad. Polar bears. I think the image of the, you know, woman awake in the bed is so burned into my brain because I relate far too heavily to the 9 of Swords. I think it's going to be the Firaxa just for that. Because this is not necessarily what I think the best depictions are, but which ones I like the most. So, 10 of Swords. This one is too sad. Honestly, they're all a bit sad. The 10 of Swords is supposed to be. I do like how the sun is rising on the horizon though, whereas these are both just bleak. So I think I'll go with the Grimalkins. Okay, Page of Swords. I really like how this cat is yelling. That's just really amusing to me. I think it might be the Guardian of the Night because I like the way he's like looking out over the landscape. I like it a lot. All right, the Knight of Swords. I really like this image. I don't know what it is about it. I just think it's a really, visually, I love it. And I'm kind of torn between this one and the Firaxa, although again, I can't really explain why I like the Firaxa so much. I think it's because we've got the movement in the bird. Yeah, that's the one. Okay. Ooh, tricky. I love this queen. This is one of my favorite cards in the deck. But I also love this queen. Oh, that's really tricky. Oh, I don't know. I like this elder more than this king though. I think I will go with the queen from the Guardian of the Night and the king from the Firaxa. All right, final suit of the minors. This is the Ace of Pentacles. I really like the Firaxa for this ace. Again, it's got a bit more action, a bit more going on than I typically like to see in the ace. The ace's potential is before you start, but the sprouting seeds is just such a good, I know it's like a pretty common image for the pentacles as a whole, but I really like it. Like it's used a lot for a reason, I think. Two of Pentacles. I really like the Firaxa and the having to like balance lots of different things, but I just really like this Two of Pentacles from the Guardian of the Night. So it's going to be that one. Okay, Three of Pentacles. I think it's going to be the Grimalkins because it's quite like a cute take. This is also cute, but this feels like more of a common goal. All right, Four of Pentacles. So again, I think it's going to be the Grimalkins. I love the expression on this little cat's face. This kind of like almost desperate holding on to what you've got. And this just feels a bit sad. The fox in the rabbit's warren with presumably the mother of the bunnies. All right, the Five of Pentacles I think is going to be the Firaxa because we've got these like dead plants and then this like looming threat in the background, and I just really like the way this image has been done as well. Also, I'm not sure this makes the most sense to me as a Five of Pentacles. All right, the Six, I've talked about this before. It's going to be the Guardian of the Night because this card is what really turned my opinion around on this deck into realizing it was a lot, or could be a lot deeper than some of the like nicer cards, and it really helped my understanding of the Six of Pentacles as a card in and of itself. You know, that reciprocal relationship that can tip over into one direction or another. All right, Seven of Pentacles. I really like this Grimalkins, but I think I like this one more, the Guardian of the Night with the spider webs and you know what they may or may not be catching. All right, the Eight of Pentacles. I feel like we see, I think this is a wasp, but we see bees. We see bees here as well. Bees in the Eight of Pentacles a lot, that kind of hard work, perfecting a skill, busy as a bee. I like this though with the pollination. I think that's really cool, so we'll do that. All right, Nine of Pentacles, Wish Fulfillment. This is such a pretty card, the Firaxa. I like this hibernating bear, but I'm not sure that it makes the most Nine of Pentacles sense to me. I love a garden in the Nine of Pentacles, so I think I'm gonna go with the Grimalkins. All right, Ten of Pentacles. It's really hard not to pick this because it's just so pretty, and I feel like it's got the like generations almost, kind of, not really, maybe I'm making things up. I'm kind of torn between these two. I'm gonna go with this one because it's my favorite to look at. All right, for the Page of Pentacles, I really like this image. It doesn't make a whole ton of sense as a Page of Pentacles for me though. I really like the Grimalkins. And then I also really like the Firaxa. This is so pretty with this like wildflowers in the front. I think I'm going to go with the Grimalkins though. All right, the Knight. I love this little cat's face. I feel like he's really considering his next steps, what needs to be done. This is cool but doesn't have a lot going on. So yeah, I think it's the Grimalkins again. Okay, for our Queen of Pentacles. I love this. I think it's gorgeous. I also love this. I think it's gorgeous. These are my two favorites. I don't know. I think I'm going with the, or am I? Yeah, I'm going with the Guardian of the Night. Okay, and then finally our King of Pentacles. I'm very tempted to go with the Grimalkins because this cat's gorgeous. But I love the way this elder is underground, and the idea that she's supporting everything from there, like from the roof. Yeah, I really like that. All right, so I was actually slightly incorrect in that these cards do not have the same degree of roundness at the corners between all three of the decks. But I've edged my Guardian of the Night in blue. So like, what are these clumps of Guardian of the Night? In the ones, and then also like the early majors, there's a few Guardian of the Night. Okay, so I'm gonna, like, I want to do a walkthrough, but that's silly because I've just done a walkthrough. So I'm gonna give it a shuffle. I don't know if I can ruffle this cardstock actually. Oh yeah, that doesn't work. I've swapped my coffee for a tea, and I've given this Frankenstein deck a good shuffle. And what I thought might be fun is to do like a deck interview spread with it. So I don't typically do deck interview spreads for everything I buy, but I do them occasionally for fun, and I thought this would be fun. So I'm doing my deck interview spread, which I went through I did a whole video on deck interviews actually. I needed to choose a deck for like to take away with me for a week, and I thought I'd interview some of my collection to decide. I have my handy dandy bright pink. Oh wow, that under my lights is insane. So this is my little spread. I ask the deck, how do you see yourself? How do you see me? What's our working relationship like? And then a strength and a weakness. So it's just 5 cards. And I thought that would be fun to do with this little like mishmash of a deck. So I have given it a really good shuffle. How do you see yourself? How do you see me? What's our working relationship like? And then a strength and a weakness. So I can tell from the backing, oh, I can tell that I don't have my camera set up straight, wow. Okay, so I can tell from the backs that I only have 2 of the decks, but like, that's fine. So how do you see yourself? 6 of Wands. Victorious, because it is the best of the best out of 3 decks. How do you see me? Page of Cups. Learning, curious, childlike, creative, I'll take that. What's our working relationship? The Empress. More creation, like creativity, okay. I suppose, yeah, I've created something new with this deck in a way. And then a strength is the Queen of Cups. There's a lot of like, I don't know, like mothery cups energy in this little diagonal here. And then a weakness is the King of Cups. Okay, so maybe this wasn't super well shuffled. But okay, a lot of cups energy. So maybe the weakness being the King of Cups and the strength, the Queen of Cups, is in that like broad view that I think comes with the airiness of the King, rather than just the like emotional relationshipy communication side of things with the Queen of Cups. And the King of Cups has that kind of stepped back, like is out of the water instead of in the water, which was a point I made when I was picking these cards. Yeah, okay, that's cute. I like that. I think I'm actually gonna work with this deck for a bit and see what I think of it, because I think that'd be fun. Maybe shuffle it a bit better. Okay, so one of my favorite artworks in this monster of a deck. I'm gonna leave that here, I think, because this has been a long video to film. I hope you enjoyed this. This was mainly for my own amusement because I thought it would be fun to pick my favourites from each of these decks. But let me know what you think. If you found this useful as a walkthrough comparison, excellent. I hope that it is useful. And yeah, let me know which deck is your favourite and if you think I made the wrong choice in picking any of the cards, because I think that would be interesting. But yeah, thank you for watching and for spending some time with me. If you've made it this far, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Give me a like if you liked it, and a thumbs up if you haven't already, and subscribe if you haven't already. A thumbs up is the same thing as a like. I am not feeling like my brain is switched on today, so forgive me. Anyhow, all that jazz. I hope you've enjoyed. Thanks for being here, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.